Alright, let's get it. Super Sunday. Now last week I wasn't able to put out anything because of the tournament going on. So this week we're finally able to talk about the fantasy football league we got going on in the A.C.B.A community. Now, first round is in the bag. We have Mugsfugger who has a bye that week. I was able to defeat Mavericks, which is aka Dirkified. Dirkified's been there, you know, from the start when I did, you know, the fantasy football, so he's welcome back anytime he wants to. And the other matchup was Midway Monsters, which is Slings a Web, and then Empire. And as you can see, Empire came away with the victory. So once again, big thanks to Slings, Dirkified for participating, man. I mean, you guys are welcome back anytime, man. And now this round we got myself taking on Mugsfugger, and you know, he's another cat that's been at this with me from the start. So he's always game, man. This guy always puts up a fight, and you can see I got a slight lead on him today. We'll see how it plays out. And then we got Empires and Lions. So we got to see how that's going to play out. Lions is, I think that's, oh yeah, that's Marvel Merc. So big shout out to him, man. So we'll have to see what happens next week. Next week is championship round. So, all right, let's get. Alright, so every often I get some questions on the YouTube about, you know, how do I do A.C.B.A, and I'm always there to answer any questions I can. But the one guy you really need to check out who can really help you improve on your craft is Slings a Web. This guy, every week he's going to show you new techniques he uses, different little things here and there, how to make energy blasts, how to make props, cutouts, I mean, all that good stuff. So definitely check out Slings a Web. I will put his link in the description. Really cool cat. This guy is phenomenal work, man. Phenomenal. Is one of the dudes I look up to in the community a lot as far as getting my craft down and all that. So once again, check out Slings a Web. I mean, he will guide you to the fullest he can. I mean, better than what anything I can do, you know, especially when it comes to this. Now, posing and all that stuff, that's something you got to practice. You know, like I tell everybody, if you're just sitting around at the house watching the game or something, have a figure in your hand, just start messing around with it and see, like, something like that, you know, just practicing pays off. That's what I like right here. That's cool. So yeah, definitely check out Slings the Web. Link will be in the description. So here's something I've been searching for a minute. Finally was able to cop one of these Gears of War 3 figures. Got Marcus Phoenix. Now, if you know me, man, I'm a huge gamer. I love Gears of War 3. Probably one of the best games I personally think on Xbox. You know, the whole franchise itself. And, you know, when these figures hit, man, I was on them. And it looks like NECA has come out strong this year with the Gears figures. Here goes more in the wave. So, fortunately, this was the only one they had left on the shelf. So I had to cop it. There wasn't even a little tag for it. I just found it underneath some other figures. So let's crack him open. Alright, I gotta give it up to NECA on this one. This figure is really, really solid. Just a smooth all-around figure. Paint, sculpt, it's just super, super solid. Look how clean that looks. I think NECA really brought it with this line right here. I mean, this is something really special. Now, one thing I do like is right out of the packaging, the joints were, you know, not stiff, not loose. They were just perfect. A lot of times with the NECA figures, I have a problem with them breaking right away, but this guy is solid. He doesn't seem like he's gonna break anytime soon. Like I said, he's got pretty good articulation for the most part. No up and down on the head, but he does go side to side. Little butterfly swivel. His arm can go up. He's got double jointed elbows, but the double joint is kind of limited because of how big his arms are. And just look at the gun itself. The gun has so much detail on it. Just all around solid figure. Look at the knife. Knife looks like it's just been through war. Oh man, real clean. Got a nice ab crunch, swivel. He's got those hips, the new, it's like the Cog Soldier. how he had the new hips. So they do go out, up and down. Doesn't have double jointed elbows like Anya does, but for the most part it's solid. And then he's got this ankle joint, but no pivot. But yeah, just a really clean all-around figure. One thing I wish they would have given him was a bicep swivel, so he can't really hold his gun like say with this hand on it. It's just really hard to get in that position. But other than that, I think this is a really clean figure, and I got to give props to NECA for this one. So I've been slowly starting to build my SOTA Street Fighter figures collection up. So I got Birdie here over the week. Got it for, you know, decent price. What, 15 bucks? This is the variant, of course. I don't know how much the regular one goes for. I don't really care, but you can see here's the rest in the wave. So pretty solid wave, and this is actually round 4. So I guess it was like their way of saying waves. So solid figure. I'm kind of disappointed that he wasn't in the new Street Fighter 4 franchise, because I remember him from Alpha, and that was like his first start. But yeah, let's crack this figure open. We'll say that the SOTA company, they really protected their figures like Toy Biz did. Look at all these damn twisty ties. Good lord. Alright, so we got Birdie out of package. Really like this figure. Nice solid figure. One of the downsides to it is his legs are so skinny, and he's really top heavy, so he just falls over pretty easy at times. But other than that, I mean, really cool figure. I can see why people are liking the SOTA line a lot now. I mean, the fact that a lot of people weren't able to get these things at the time, so we got to go back and get them. But like I said, this figure was super cheap. It's only 15 bucks. But he comes with a lot of stuff. Removable hands, another head. He's got this knife comb, but mine broke. Oh. So yeah, kind of bummed about that, but it's all good. What's funny is in Street Fighter Alpha, his taunt was he would, you know, flick out the knife, but it can actually hit you. So I thought that was kind of a cool little feature they added. But yeah, solid figure all around. I mean, got a nice chain. I won't get into the articulation because this guy is super wobbly at the legs. But yeah, definitely get this figure. It's a really cheap figure. I don't know how much the regular one goes for. I hear it's an expensive figure. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, is on Saturdays on the A.C.B.A. Facebook page, we do kind of a theme setup where we just post pics on, you know, the main theme for the weekend. This week was Transformers, so make sure you guys come and join us, and I'll put the link in the description bar. So I think next Saturday is G.I. Joe weekend, so if you guys want to get in on that, make sure you come join us, because you know, this week was Transformers. And now I don't personally like doing A.C.B.A. with Transformers. I think they're a little more harder to pull off at times, just because the way they are, it's kind of hard to work with them. They are really good when you can use a stand with them. I mean, they have a lot of crevices where you can just insert the stand, and they work really well. But other than that, it's just one of those awkward things. I know my man Fernandotron can really do work with those Transformers, so definitely get on over there with us, guys. So like I was saying, a lot of these figures work really well with stands. Get them in some flying poses or some jump kicks, whatever kind of action shots. As you can see, he's just fits perfectly in this little back piece right there. I mean, just as simple as that. So these things are really good on the stands, even in vehicle mode for most of them. Alright guys, it's time for the must-own figure. You knew sooner or later I was going to get into the big dogs of the Marvel Legends. Of course, we have Deadpool, a really sought after, expensive now figure to get. Now this figure right here, it's not particularly my favorite mold in the world, but just for the sheer fact that it is super rare, makes it a really must-own figure. Especially if you want to be up there, you know, considered a true Marvel Legends collector, you have to get this one. Even though Hasbro did release a nice Deadpool, this is still the one to get. Great sculpt, cool articulation. A lot of accessories. This gun particularly didn't come with this Deadpool, but I like to throw it in there. But just all around, just amazing figure. They really did a great job. And this one, I think, was the first one to have interchangeable heads. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but still, you gotta get this figure. Alright, must own figure, DCUC Kilowog. Now this guy right here is a collect and connect, but this is a fantastic figure. All around cool character, fun factor, just the sheer size of him, you know, just really holds his own, especially for being part of the Green Lantern Corps. Now this one right here, when it first dropped, I had to get him, and I had to get doubles of this figure too. This is just an impressive figure. Look at the face sculpt. They really did an outstanding job with him. You can see the kind of white on his face, kind of looks like snot and all that. I mean, that's just really attention to detail. And all the little, like, I don't know, folds on his neck. I mean, that really stands out. They did a fantastic job with this guy. Ring is a nice size. Just all around really cool. So this one right here, the wave itself can get kind of pricey at times, but you can find him, you know, maybe 50, 60 bucks on eBay or so. So it's not bad, but I mean, this is a really fantastic figure. So definitely get this one if you're a fan of the Green Lantern and DC. All right, Marvel Universe must own. Well, this is really an Iron Man figure. We have Comic Series War Machine. This is one of my favorite 3 3/4 inch figures that I own. Well, one of many, I should say. But just the fun factor alone on this guy, the paint sculpt is so cool on this thing. So you can see all the little paint detail on him. It's kind of got this, I don't know, weathered, kind of armored. You can see it's got some, you know, all kinds of different paint shadings all around. So they really did a number with these Iron Man figures. Of course, it's got these little blasters as well, you know, kind of those effects, but they're in my weapons case right now, so I didn't want to bust them out. But all are a really cool figure. I don't know how much he's going for online now, but if you are lucky enough, you can find him still in stores. But all around, really cool figure. The only other Iron Man figure that's actually better than this would probably be the movie Iron Man 3 3/4 inch one, but this one really represents the comic series well. And if you're a fan of the animated show back in the days, this is a spot on. So definitely get this figure. Alright, so we got some comics we need to talk about here. So we got Avengers Sanction #1. This is basically Cable's return to the Marvel Universe. And though this wasn't like the super battle, you know, issue #1, but you know, it is an issue #1, so you can't take too much from it, but it still was pretty decent for the most part. Once again, I'm not a big fan of Jeff Loeb, but he actually does a pretty decent job writing. And of course, Ed McGuinness with the art is just fantastic once again. But you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out, because I know this kind of leads into the whole Avengers versus X-Men saga that's going to happen. So I guess if you're a Marvel fan, you know, you got to really support these lines. And then of course we got the variant cover as well. I think this is the Ed McGuinness cover. I have to double check, but solid art. Carnage USA, fabulous read, fabulous. Now this is the exception of a #1 where it starts out just awesome. Cletus Cat, it leads off right from where it left off. He's in that village and he basically just takes over it, and he just causes havoc upon all the residents, and the Avengers come in and try to, you know, take him out. But I won't spoil it, but they kind of yeah, get their ass handed to them. So this is a fabulous read from the start, so definitely pick this up. X-Force, this is the end of the Dark Angel saga. Really damn good, really good read. It didn't have the epic conclusion like I had thought it would, but it was still good enough to where you want to continue the line, I would say. So definitely get this. I mean, if you're an X-Force fan, this is not disappointing at all. Now, on the other hand, talk about disappointing. And like I was saying, disappointment has to go to Voltron #1. I don't know what direction they're going. I don't know what planet they're on. It's just beyond weird. Now, at one point, it looked like Barack Obama was in the story. Yeah, he's talking to Dr. Zartan. Like I said, I don't know where they're going with this. I don't know why they would try to, I don't know if it's modern time. it's just all confusing. The writing was kind of weak. The artwork was kind of bland. It just really didn't connect to me, especially being a Voltron fan. But, you know, every once in a while they like to, you know, comics, you know how they do. They like to go off left field. But like I said, it is number one. I can't take too much into that, but at the same time I can, because it was a really boring read, and it just, I don't know where they're going. It just seemed, and at one point it was like Voltron was talking. I don't know if he's supposed to be a separate entity or there was a pilot in there. It's just really, really weird. But I will say that all the covers for these Voltrons are phenomenal. They look really damn good, but I had to get the Alex Ross one, of course. Can't ever go wrong with the Alex Ross cover. You see, it's really clean art. So I don't know, I'll get the second one probably just to see where it goes, but after that, if it doesn't pick up, I won't even continue. Now on the other hand, a really good number one was Godzilla. This is Gangsters and Goliath. So pretty interesting cover, or I should say title, I should say. But it starts out, there's a detective, he's undercover, he gets captured. They dump him off overseas, or off this boat I should say. He survives that and he makes his way to Monster Island, and so the other gang follows him onto the island, and you only see Godzilla once, and it's not really like, oh, big letdown, but when he enters he just annihilates everybody. And there's a really funny scene where all of a sudden Mothra comes in there and him and Godzilla are fighting, and then next thing you know they're just walking off together. So it was kind of weird, but it was actually, this, like I said, it was a pretty damn good read. I'll continue it. I know the second one is out, so I got to pick that up. But I really like the artwork on it so far. So it's going to be one of those ones that I'll continue to see how it goes. Action Comics number 4. I think the whole line for the Action Comics has been brilliant. It starts off as, like I'd say, a younger Superman. He can't fly yet. He's still discovering his powers. And Corbin, I forget his name, which is Metallo. Yeah, in the regular universe, he makes his appearance, but he's not Metallo yet, but I think that's the way they're going to do. And of course you get to see the first appearance of Steel. Now Steel himself and Metallo, their outfits, their costumes I should say, were really weak. I didn't really like the way that they were done, but I mean, maybe they'll change it up later, but it just didn't fit. But it still was a really good read. So if you're a fan of Superman, this is a really good line to get onto. Alright, the Legion of Doom just keeps growing and growing. Speaking of growing, bam! You guys wanted her? She's in there. We got Giganta. Now, a lot of people have been saying, you know, we need a female to represent for the Legion of Doom, and hey, what better female than Giganta? Now, this isn't one of my favorite collecting connects, but it's still a solid figure, expensive figure at that, because the head is part of that Gentleman Ghost, and it can get really expensive for that figure. But other than that, solid figure. Look how tall she is compared to the other collecting connects. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Super Sunday. Put your votes in who you want to see in the Legion of Doom, and we'll be back next week. Alright, peace.